our Squawking Dead. And thanks for putting up with our little break. We were supposed to broadcast last night, but we just weren't up for it. Thanks for joining us tonight, a day later. We're covering this week's episode of The End of Everything. And we hope it's not the end of Squawking Dead. We're joined by Carol, Meg, and Rachel. And I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And all of you guys that jumped onto Facebook and on the Instagrams. And I'm so happy, so thrilled to hear from you guys. We're covering a really important episode. Another great bottle episode. Kind of akin to Close Your Eyes of last year. Truths are revealed. And certain things float. But before we continue, I'd like to first talk about some news in the ether that we're going to coalesce into this episode. And I'm speaking with my hands, Meg. Did you catch that? See, I do that sometimes too.
I am very proud of you. I'm kind of restraining myself right now.
I know, you should. It's a terrible
I'm like literally have my arms crossed. Just so I don't do it.
So I think the first thing we want to talk about though is actually, Meg, you just came back from FanFest New Jersey.
I did, yes, I did.
Or was that the first thing we were supposed to talk about? I think it was.
I don't know. I just kind of follow your lead.
Yeah, don't do that. It's just not advisable.
Oh boy.
I think, yeah. Let's just do that anyway.
I mean, you already mentioned it. It'd be wrong to backtrack now.
Yeah, no, that was the order. And I'll tell you why. But you'll tell us.
This is a great episode.
Yeah, so far so good. All right, everybody. So tell us everything, because I know you met a lot of people that even Squawking Dead like keeps in touch with, like Sun and Trope and like Tara McCormack. And did you get to meet Tom, who's in the chat right now, who's in Facebook chat right now?
Which one did Tom dress up?
You'll know because he dressed up as one of Jenna Elfman's characters from one of the movies. It was
my God, yes. He was in my photo op line.
Was it Dogma?
He was the angel, right?
Yeah. It was it Dogma?
That's awesome. It was Dogma.
It was a sight. And he even got a shout out during the panel. So if you rewatch the live footage, you'll probably see that shout out.
Oh man. And he's still getting shout outs by cast. Like I saw a few from Angel Theory. I saw
and Jenna made a post about it too.
Like a specific post for Tom. So, by the way, Angel Theory did shout you out on Twitter. By the way, it's Can't Hardly Wait. It's not Dogma.
Yeah.
It was Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, he just told me now. Yeah. And so and Angel Theory and Sydney. What's her? She plays Cindy, but she's Sydney, and I forget her last name. Sydney Park. That's right. That was a good shout out. Yeah, it was hilarious. Okay, so yes. So I know you ended up meeting all the people that we ended up communicating with. Just go over it.
I met everyone from the Walking Dead side, because it was like they had all the Walking Dead and Fear cast on one side and all the Heroes and Villains cast on the other, which I thought it was a really, really way it was like divided. I met everyone from the Walking Dead side except for Michael Rooker and Dan Fogler. No offense to those who are diehard fans of them. I just had no desire to see them.
Why not? Is there like a personal vendetta? No kidding.
Okay, I've never been a fan of Fogler, and Rooker, he did bump into me though, and he apologized.
He's that kind of guy.
So I was like, okay, I kind of met him, but just not like I didn't pay for it.
Right, you didn't wipe it off after he bumped you. It's like, I don't know.
I was just like, oh, okay.
I want to shower tonight.
I had I think the best experience I had was probably with Laurie Holden.
Oh, awesome.
Because we started talking about her latest movie, Dragged Across Concrete, and she told me that she's like, I got to play a woman that had MS, and I shared a personal story with her because my mom actually has MS. So she immediately dropped the fact that she had a mile-long line, and she just talked to me for like 10 minutes straight. And she told me all the research she went through for the role, so she didn't play just like a cliche MS person or a person with MS. And it was phenomenal. It was probably the best money I spent the whole day.
That's kind of awesome.
And then we did a photo op with her where my friend Dave, who's an amazing, he's like Greg, he learned from Greg Nicotero, or Greg inspired him, I should say. And he does this amazing dress up with the walkers. So we recreated the RV walker kill.
Awesome.
But the lines weren't long at all, so it was definitely a different vibe than most Walker Stalkers. So I don't know if it's just because people were thrown off that the date changed, or if that they were just put off by all the drama happening, or what.
So you can confirm the rumors that like it felt kind of empty.
Yeah. However, I did see James both days, James Frazier.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him too, by the way.
He was on his game. He was checking in with everyone, and you could tell that like he wanted to be there. It wasn't like other cons where I've heard people say that he was like I don't care. He wanted to be there. He was doing his best to make sure that it was running smoothly. And I appreciated him for that.
Yeah, and engaging with fans. Like I think I saw him take pictures with Commonwealth. That's right, on Instagram.
I saw him in a few pictures. I tried to like say hi to him, but he just zipped past me.
Because he could smell the media a mile away.
Probably. But no, it was the layout. I don't know if anybody had gone to New Jersey last year, but the layout was so much better than it was last year. Also because of the fact there weren't really like there was no like JDM or Norman type level people there. So there wasn't a mile long line where they wound up only seeing platinum people. So everybody got in and out. There wasn't even really a need for, I got VIP. There wasn't even really a need for that.
Like gold, right? Not that platinum stuff.
Well, there's platinum, gold, VIP, then GA.
Okay.
I was VIP. I think like by the second day, there was no line on Judith's line. Or Kaylee's line, I should say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like you were really able to get in, get out, do your thing.
Huh.
Good for fans, not so much for her.
And not for James.
Yeah. But, even though there was like less people, it still had that whole like hopeful vibe that yes, Walker Stalker and FanFest is going to come back.
Yeah. I feel like they're slowly building on credit right now. Like, in terms of, trying to engage. Well, I mean, James engaging with people walking around is good news. I mean, he's
good morale.
Yeah, because he knows the people that are going there also believe in the project, more or less, and so they're already open-minded enough to do that. Like I see, that's the thing. I see most people hiding behind their keyboards, and this is just not me putting people down, but I see most people are hiding behind keyboards
and bashing it. And
the most effective thing you could do to really kind of get in James' face, like, is to really go and talk to him and really, and first of all, have him log time. Have him explain to you directly. If you really, really gave a crap, and you do give a crap about The Walking Dead and meeting your stars and stuff like that, then just come up to him.
And that's kind of what the whole Q&A was all about too.
Oh, did they have a live Q&A also?
Well, not at Walker Stalker, but I'm saying that Q&A that happened like a month ago,
right? With the groups.
And if I'm not mistaken, they're having a second Q&A with him.
Oh, okay.
My understanding.
That's good to know.
Just, I guess, like more follow-up questions and ask what wasn't asked during the first one.
Okay. Well, I'm eager to hear from that, because it'll probably give us more dates on people being paid back, or maybe numbers, maybe even some transparency, like probably translucency, like about the current state of Walker Stalker and numbers. People how many people got paid back? Are they in the black? Are they in the yellow? But yeah. Anyway, but Carol, I think we wanted you to go into, what was it now?
Comic-Con.
San Diego.
The announcement from San Diego Comic-Con, actually. Yeah, some of the news that came out today, actually. And art.
Well, I'm not completely on top of everything that's come out. I just saw snippets and pieces, but I did see that I think the panel for Fear and for regular Walking Dead is July 19th.
You are correct.
And so that's very exciting, because the trailer is going to drop for season 10. So, and I think that they even talked about news that they were going to announce also. I'm not sure if it's going to be in relation to the movies, in relation to Fear, since obviously things are kind of coming together a lot, especially based on this episode.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I like how some of the key art for San Diego Comic-Con, at least on the TWD side, it follows the hats that they produce for the cast. The black hats with the black stitching with the TWD cross logo. T on the left. Was it T on the left? W on the top and D on the side. And it's actually, I don't know if it's a stick, like Morgan stick.
I thought it was an arrow, like
And a
from
katana?
Norman's crossbows.
Okay, then you got me on that one. So it's an arrow in Michelle's katana. It forms the X.
Ah.
Okay.
I wanted that hat when I went to Sonoy. I bid on that damn hat.
I tried
for
to buy
charity.
that hat online, even on eBay. I couldn't get it.
Oh man, because it was going for hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
And there's like a ceiling. Like I my last bid for
Yeah.
that hat was like $260. I said screw it.
Wow.
It sold for like
For a
$4.
hat?
Yeah, it sold for $4. It was cool looking too. Oh, and in case anybody wants to know, the hat that I'm wearing right now is from Brandon White. His Instagram I think is WV Brandon White, and so he just gave this to me because I had actually given him a Squawking Dead notebook available at the merch store. If you go to the website,
Gotta plug it.
squawkingdead.com, you hit the main menu, hit
Hey.
merch, and you're right there. But this hat comes with a nicely illustrated walker. How about
Nice.
that? So you can
Pretty cool.
own that at his store.
I feel like we need a set of hands going like, ooh.
Ooh.
I know.
I thought I just did that.
Where's Vanna
Or
White?
like Vanna, like Vanna. Very like.
Exactly.
Am I
you
not
guys
good?
see
Am
the,
I not good enough?
Did you see the Fear the Walking Dead 5B art and how people threw hands that skid mark wasn't on it?
Yeah, I saw that. That was just
And then they immediately fixed it.
yeah. Johnny Odell fixed it. The guy that does
Yes.
the key art and stuff like that. He fixed it right away, and I was beside myself. And then I started like trolling people too. By the way, by the way, the cat. It looks like Althea's punching the cat with her fist knives, and like I think that's animal cruelty. And like
no.
I got and one of the most like staunchly like animal protecting people that I know, Jessica T. Kaz on Instagram.
Oh, I love her.
She was laughing about it, so I was like, okay, I'm in the clear now with the animal.
It was
people.
her tweet that made me realize that skid mark was not in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. And then I even wrote, I'm like, oh my gosh, possible spoiler. Like, everybody prepare for a riot.
Horrible.
I think some shit's going down.
If skid mark dies, we riot. End of story.
Yeah, well, I'll take pictures.
You'll be like Althea, just recording it for a story.
This is like, I mean, like, okay, here's your scale. And this is just for people who feel things about this, but like people who cried about Trump winning the election, skid mark dying. You decide. I'm just imagining the images of everybody in the streets going, no! But is it about skid mark or is it about Trump being elected?
Like that lady at the inauguration.
I just see the one lady, yeah.
I think it was a guy.
Oh, it was a guy.
But it,
No, I'm thinking of a lady.
oh, okay.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about
Rachel
the one.
knows the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
No,
do you know the one I'm talking about? The dude with the ski cap, like on his knees, going no.
At the inauguration?
I don't remember that
I
one.
think it was at the inauguration, but it was like the one that like conservatives troll out, like about how liberals are crying about Trump being elected. And even I'll admit, I'm like, oh my god, that's really bad. It's just really bad. I can't even make fun of it. It's just so like, but anyway, so beside all the political stuff, I lost my Instagram chat window, so I can't see what's going on. Just FYI. So if I can't react,
Denise is laughing her butt off.
good. So we're still broadcasting on that front. I don't even know if we'll be able to get it
Yeah.
back. So if we hit the top of the hour and the feed cuts out, I'll try to get Instagram back up. But if I can't, head over to Facebook or YouTube, and we're still broadcasting there. And you know what's funny is that I keep trying to see new Facebook chat comments, but like I literally have to scroll down to see new ones. It's really annoying.
They
Anyway,
don't pop up to the top.
it goes bottom to top for some reason on my
weird.
side. Yeah.
Technology.
Ugh, technology.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm getting hearts. Thanks, Sharon. I think it was Sharon. I have to assume it's Sharon. Sharon from Australia, right, Nisa? Son of a bitch.
No, sure. Yeah. You saw her. I know you did.
I saw her from
I know
before.
you did.
I was trying not to crack up. And I saw you too. You and me were doing the same almost gut-like snorting
We're like,
laugh.
don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh
And I'm like this,
Don't laugh.
like shit-eating smile. Anyway, third bit of news. So Meg, you came across an article kind of zeroing in on the timeline based on the helicopter and everything. Now let me ask you right off the bat: is this under the assumption that because this is going to make me crazy if this is true? Okay. This is under the same assumption that the same helicopter that leaves this scene heads off to not Alexandria. Is it Alexandria?
Rick?
Yeah, to pick up Rick. Because if so, I'm going to start whipping out a bazooka, Daryl style, and killing a bunch of people.
I didn't see anything about that in the article I read. However, I feel like it's one of those things that you can kind of interpret on your own. You know?
I guess so.
I don't think it was.
I don't think
it was only based on who was in there. It was only Isabel in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whoever came to rescue Jadis and Rick
had two people.
First of all, I'm pretty sure it was a man because she was talking to him on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were on the helicopter.
It could have been the one.
So I think there were at least two people.
Yeah, there was a pilot and then there was a tech, I think, right? A medical tech or something?
I think there was at least two people on the helicopter that took Rick and Jadis away.
The guy that was on the walkie with Isabel, that could have been the one flying the other helicopter to go get Rick.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
They could have a fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm not saying there's only one helicopter.
Because what would happen if it crashed?
Could be a bunch.
Yeah.
You'd be screwed.
Hella screwed. Yeah, but so let's zero in on the timeline because is the article based on that idea?
Okay, so it didn't give me, like I said, it didn't really give me vibes that yes, this is the only helicopter, and yes, this is the one that it goes to Rick. Like that was not the thought I got from it. So that's why I kind of feel like it's really based on your interpretation of the article. However, it gave a recap of kind of all the big points of the timeline to show like where Fear is in the Walking Dead universe. So like while day 0 the outbreak hits in LA in Fear, but day 59 Rick wakes up from his coma in Walking Dead, but day 64 the dam breaks at the end of season 3 in Fear.
Right.
So it kind of like bounces back and forth. And then it ends with where like we're at the end of season 9 with Walking Dead. However, it proves that I'll send, if anybody wants this article, just hit me up on any social media platform at Meg the Geek and I will send it to you.
Yeah.
So it kind of proves that like Jadis was interacting with the helicopter people for at least a year before we saw it in Texas on Fear.
Yeah, I would wager more. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my theory about that they were like 8 months behind Rick getting captured was pretty spot on. And so now Walking Dead is 7 years ahead of Fear the Walking Dead.
So basically
until the next time jump hits, regardless of the show.
Okay. So as of now, we're like eight months behind Rick, 7 or 8 months behind Rick getting picked up.
Yes.
At current, like in Fear the Walking Dead universe.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was kind of spot on.
Assuming that this is the same dude that thought of the or dudette that thought of the original theory on Twitter, or is it written by maybe?
I don't know when this article came out. I just saw it on a forum, and I was like, oh my god.
So I'll put the link to that article in the description for at least the YouTube and Facebook streams. Maybe not now, but I'll definitely when I'm done with the episode, I'll just throw it on there really quick as a point. But okay, let's talk about this episode. Why not? Yeah, sure. Okay. Being serious right now, I need first impressions because Sharon from Australia found this episode boring.
Ooh.
Some people did react that way.
I understand, though.
You know,
it's a setup and it's a bottle episode, and not everyone I mean,
I kind of wanted to ask you first, actually. That's why.
Yeah, bottle episodes can sometimes tend to put off people because you're not getting a chance to see the full cast, and it tends to be very much about like the development of a particular relationship, a particular character. So yeah, it's a little slower, but it's all about like what we're leading up to. Like we got a lot of very insightful information, in this episode, but yeah, it's definitely a build-up, and it's all information for us to keep in the back of our heads as we continue unraveling this what's going on here.
Right.
Kind of vague very vague information, though, wouldn't you say? I mean,
Yeah.
We got this much, but I still don't know this much.
No.
We got this much, and now our questions are this much.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Like one
The
step
answers
forward,
we got
back.
gave me more questions.
Basically what I said last week about the mystery box.
Exactly.
The mystery box formula. You answer one question, but then you open up 5 more.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't get any answers to till the movies now,
Um,
or maybe the mid-season finale.
yeah, and I think that was kind of the point. I think they kind of wanted to bury. I don't know, is the right expression, bury the lead?
Bury the lead.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of wanted you to think that they were going to give up some of the goods, and they kind of did with respect to people who do not read the comics. They gave up the goods when it came to some of the information on what people definitely know and have heard of by now, which is like essentially the Commonwealth, NWO, all those people. So they just think CRM for now because, I mean, that's all you literally know from the maps and stuff like that. So, so I think it draws you in on that level, but on a whole other level, there is insane character development on the part of Althea. And
Oh my God! Yes.
yeah, and also it does double duty of doing kind of like a timeline flip to see things from Althea's perspective from the first episode, because we're already in the 5th, and Althea's been gone for several. So
I like that they were able to tie that in.
yeah,
So not only did it show what she's been up to and catch her back up to present day, but it also, like, you know, as a bottle episode and also a recap episode and plus an insight episode. So it was like multiple episodes in one, if I'm even making sense right now.
yeah, because you get pieces from the other episodes too.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, up to the like even last frame, last few frames or last few scenes where
with Alicia.
Yeah, well, where you get the tie-in, with Alicia, but also when you see Sidney Lemmon, Isabel, picking up the gas canisters, that is the scene from the other perspective of where Max and Eddie were hiding out.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, you're definitely spot on, and I had a feeling that they would do that too, up to that moment, because I knew that we would be seeing this person, and then of course, Meg, you and I know, then of course they drop the bomb on who this person is before the episode airs.
Still better.
We're gonna meet Isabel. Her name is Isabel. We're gonna tell you it up front, because she doesn't even reveal it until the end of the episode.
A surprise.
Yeah, towards the end.
Oh, it's frustrating. Who's played by Sidney Lemmon?
However, at FanFest, I keep on wanting to call it Walker Stalker. Jenna Elfman did say that this episode was going to be huge and epic, not just so much on the factor of fear itself, but just in the greater grand scheme of the Walking Dead universe. And she was spot on with it.
So let's talk about that, because I'm on the fence about that after seeing this episode, because I might as well address it now, because do all of you feel that way? I would start with Rachel.
But what?
Like in terms of this episode being like an entryway into the greater Walking Dead universe, like Walking Dead, probably movies, etc. Do you feel that way after this episode?
Not initially. No, I wouldn't. That wouldn't be my first thought. I mean, I could see how it could lead into that, but that's not how it left me feeling at the end. No.
Okay, but why? I guess is the question.
I'm not going to say the episode was boring, but it, like we said, it was a battle episode and it was kind of slower, and I don't know. I just really want more answers in this season. I don't want to wait for the movies.
I want my CRM now.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. They got to give us a reason now to want to watch the movies later. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of felt that way too. Carol, what did you think in terms of the greater? Do you think there was a payoff necessarily, or was it kind of like a thud?
It was a bit of a thud. I don't think it was necessarily like a big payoff, because it's like we talked about. Like, I mean, you're just kind of left. I mean, yeah, you got confirmation of like, okay, there is a much bigger entity beyond just like little communities, whatever. There's a much larger entity that has fleets and, basically soldiers and electronics and watches and synchronization and reclamation teams, and, they have processes and systems, and they make beer
and coffee machines.
Look at that vocabulary.
Yeah, they have Keurigs. We'll find that out too. You know,
Didn't they talk about that in season 1 of Walking Dead too? Like what they miss?
they?
Oh, I don't know. Wow, that would be an insane.
Yeah, down
callback.
by the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like
Yeah.
constantly having-
Andrew and Carol and
Oh, that's right, with the washboard.
Jackie were
That's when they
talking
were-
about the things
Sorry,
they
Carl, I
missed.
totally cut you off there. Just popped
No,
in
but
my
that
head.
is funny
Oh,
though. Like-
well, this community's got Keurigs, I'm sure. And so,
Well, we talked about that on the previous episode. That's why I brought it up. But yeah.
but I feel like we got somewhere, but we're still kind of like, okay, I don't know what this means, where this story's going, you know, anything. I don't know yet. So I'm sort of like, I felt like, okay, like I wasn't necessarily disappointed with the episode. It wasn't like
Right.
that. Like I didn't walk away feeling like, oh, this was boring or, you know, this episode sucked. Like I didn't feel like that.
It blows.
Yeah. I didn't feel like that. I just
Right.
felt like this was okay. This is
Right.
a setup for something else.
Well, a question to kind of make you feel a little bit better about that is, do you feel like that was the smart play though? Like to kind of slow burn or slow drip the information? Because I don't think they want to blow this group's wad on Fear the Walking Dead.
No, and I understand that. I just, as long as they don't drag it out too long, I think as long as they do it in a wise way, I think it makes sense for something that it's of this caliber. Then yes, like you can start dropping hints of like, okay, this storyline is interweaving between these two universes. It's bigger than just Beyond Fear, just beyond Walking Dead. There's a bigger entity that is beyond, you know, either one of these little universes, which is fine. But, you know, as long as like, it's not like, okay, we saw, you know, we met Isabel and the helicopter people, like, you know, maybe we'll find out, you know, next season, maybe in the movies. I don't know. You know, like that's
Yeah.
where like, you know, that's going to be an issue. But as long as they continue to develop it accordingly, then I get it. Then
Yeah.
fine, you know.
Yeah, and as to much frustration of everybody else, I mean, I would say that that's the right play to make. And then all in the while, you get this character development. Like you get what
Right.
you get what you paid for in the cost of entry, which is Fear the Walking Dead development and the overall here and now story arc. You know,
Right. I think it's just one of those things that, you know, we're so hungry for that information because we've been seeing these helicopters for a while now. I mean,
Forever.
Yeah, it's been like this underlying thing. It was on the poster for last season of Walking Dead. Like they
Right.
showed like, you know, the Capitol building and then there's a little helicopter in the corner. And here we have Fear, the poster, and it's like, there's the helicopter. It's like, I get it.
when we
I
saw
just-
it, we saw it as early as last year. Remember when Rick was
Yeah.
heading to the junkyard
Yeah.
and it to talk to Jadis, see
Yep.
if he can get her over. Yeah,
And Negan and when Negan was in with Jadis, it's
Yeah.
like, and, you know, obviously the helicopter there. So it's like we keep seeing the
we
helicopter.
all thought we were going crazy too when Rick saw it. We're like, did
We
he?
thought it was just a bad
Was it the phone call
CGI.
again? Yeah.
Yep.
You gonna talk to Laurie?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was
Now
not.
Laurie's on the helicopter.
Yeah.
Is flying the helicopter.
Something that pisses me off that they're doing though with Fear is, okay, I mean, I may be in the minority with this. I get that, you know, they had the helicopters introduced with Walking Dead taking Rick, and now they're kind of showing it here. It's just kind of pissing me off that they're using Fear to piggyback the movies. Maybe piggyback's the wrong word, but using it to project what the
To
movies are going to
boost.
be.
To, like,
Yeah, to
springboard,
boost
yeah.
it. Thank you, boost it.
Hmm.
It's just let it be its own entity. Let it do it. Let them do their thing.
I think that's why they're doing it though. I mean, the ratings for Fear aren't what The Walking Dead are, right?
That's
So
true.
they need the extra ratings,
A
and
little
so
less. Not that
this
bad,
is
though.
maybe a way to draw more viewers in, say,
And
across
they-
these storylines.
As long as it doesn't take over and like they'll eventually, you know, go their separate ways and go back to the Fear that we know.
Well, there's a larger.
See, I knew
Point.
I was going to wind up talking with my hands.
It's not that bad. At least it's not in your face like this. Like, you know. Yeah, you've restrained them to the sides. You're like,
Because
We
I'm
can
afraid I'm
still
going to
see
hit
your
the
face.
mic.
I'm not.
Why can't like, hey
No
guys?
fear. No, but there's a larger purpose to them not doing that, and that's obviously because of like the heavy subject of the Whisperers, and then losing all those people. Could you really honestly handle? I mean, not to say that they haven't done this before, but do you think the narrative? Do you think the fans could really handle another arc? You know, one that like, and how does that weave in properly? You know what I mean? So,
It's true.
and then Maggie's
Yeah.
not there yet, and you've got this grieving Carol. You've got Lydia, who, I mean, we're kind of getting on the right footing. And then we have Negan, who is turning out to be kind of an ally.
I mean, I understand why they're doing it. Like with Fear, I'm just not really... I mean, I'm enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I'm just kind of pissed that they're using it to boost this.
Right.
Like personal gain almost.
I think I hear you. I don't think it's that though. Well, I mean, I just don't. I guess I just don't agree. I can see how you would say that though. I honestly do.
Do you think the promotions should be more on The Walking Dead then instead?
You mean for the movies or the helicopters?
Yeah, like what other way would they promote it?
I honestly, like I said, that's actually a really good question because you actually stumped me for once. I don't really know. Maybe like just have maybe webisodes because they kind of stopped in the webisodes doing those.
That is a good point. I mean, at least in terms of stopping doing the webisodes, like haven't done that in a while.
I miss them.
Yeah.
I never watched any of them.
No, I never did either.
But
I recommend watching the Fear the Walking Dead webisodes.
You mean like the Red Machete and
no, that's
Flight.
Oh, and Flight
Flight 482 or 462 or something.
Yeah.
Because
that
it ties
Fear.
into an episode of Fear the Walking Dead in season 2.
Yeah,
Remember the
exactly.
episode with the plane crash?
And what was
ties
her
in
name?
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget
And
her name.
something as
too.
early as season 1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. They'd only show you like 1 minute at a time, and that irritated me beyond belief.
Yeah,
if you
me
go on
too.
YouTube, you can watch the whole 16 minutes at once.
Yeah.
Well, I was waiting for the whole thing to be done, and then
Yeah.
I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth
That's what
checking
happened.
out. It'll answer some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I just wish that character would stay around. I really liked that character from Fear.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned that. You mean Alex?
Alex, yes, that's right.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually wrote in my notes for this episode that I definitely think we're going to see Isabel in the Walking Dead movies, and I was kind of hoping that we will see Alex too, because she definitely seems like she'd be worthy of the helicopter ride.
Okay, after being stranded out in the middle of the sea, and if she survives,
Exactly, she
definitely-
survived that much.
She's definitely not an A or a B. She's something special. What if she runs the whole thing? What if she's the Commonwealth?
Stop it.
Wait,
That would be
I
like
looked down.
justice, though. By the way,
Okay, so if you watch the see, this is why you got to watch it. So there's this character Alex who pretty much is the only, in the end, she's really like the only survivor of the flight, and that's we meet her in that episode of Fear with the plane crash,
I remember.
and
her.
then they leave her stranded.
well, she's on. This is when the main group is on the Abigail and they're out in sea.
Mm-hmm.
And then so they pick up the dinghy with her and her Alex and this other person who got sick. Was it her brother? No.
No, it was just a kid that was supposed to fly. Like his mom was supposed to be on the flight with him, and he couldn't. He was severely injured.
Right. And so and he's like near death, basically.
Oh my god, so near death.
And so they decide to kick her off the boat because ain't nobody got time for that. Basically.
Damn strand.
It was another time. It was
the old strand, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of, maybe. Go on.
The new strand. Anyway, sorry. It's John Mayer on you. Sorry. But yeah, no, I'd highly recommend that too. And I do like, and somebody had said, oh no, this may be the old showrunner, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody said like, oh, we will see Alex again or something. And I'm like,
I did read that.
nah, I don't think so.
It'd be cool, but I don't know.
Me neither. Yeah. But do you think it was a smart move though? Like to I mean, it's not even a matter of like, yeah, I guess it is a pain in the butt. Like sometimes you feel like, the movie should be springboarding off of The Walking Dead, but like if from like a tactic to get people to watch Fear and maybe even from a narrative tactic, do you think it's smarter to wrap in the Commonwealth in Fear the Walking Dead?
As long as it doesn't take over, I'm okay with it.
I don't think it will, and that's why I'm not so pissed that we didn't get more from them this episode too.
to just kind of introduce the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, here's the thing, and it wouldn't be totally unlike AMC to throw a wrench in everything that we think. Isabel actually said something that made me second guess whether or not this is even the Commonwealth at all. And she said she made it. She told Althea that they were a secret. Nobody's even supposed to know that they're around.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
they kill anyone
stuck
who is
with me.
willing.
Yeah,
get in
that
their
stuck
way.
with me because Commonwealth is a huge community. They take people in. So why is she part of the secret and killing people when people are a resource? They would bring them back to the Commonwealth and put them to work. So that stuff, just the comment stuck with me.
Yeah, no, and I kind of, I would have to agree because I really don't know. But if that's the case, do you think, I guess maybe this is a question for Carol, do you think that maybe this is narrative change to how these people are?
Well, if I think about the comic book, they were very protective about their whereabouts. Even in the comic book, the first contact is made via walkie-talkie, kind of like the way we ended season 9 of The Walking Dead, and you hear like the voice over the walkie-talkie and whatever. So in the comic book, like that's how the contact gets made, but they're very resistant about like where they are revealing too much until they feel that they can more or less trust, the Alexandrians. And even then, when they do eventually meet, they don't meet at the place. They kind of give them another location as like a meeting point. So they are in the comic book very protective of where they are. I mean, they do want more people, but they are very protective and selective in terms of who is allowed to join their community. So
it sort of does fit with the narrative.
It does kind of sort of fit. I mean, you can still say that it's kind of going along the narrative. So I think it's still consistent.
So would that fit with the whole A-B theory as far as who they choose to go?
It can be. I mean, because in the comic, it is about like almost sort of like a caste system sort of idea of like, how productive can you be to our community? So it could maybe apply from the whole, like, are you an A or you B? I don't necessarily know what constitutes A versus what constitutes B,
right?
But it could be part of it. It's
right.
Like,
they give you jobs in the Commonwealth based on what you did before.
Right.
That's how they sort of tier it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, if you think about that, isn't that like the antithesis of what The Walking Dead is all about? Like, it's like the exact opposite. Exactly. Like the whole basis of why we fall.
What you did before doesn't matter now.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't even hacking it before. Right. And so now that you're in the apocalypse, you're like the best version of yourself or something.
Well, Carol was the prime example of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was battered housewife, and now she's just battering people.
Carol, Daryl. He was kind of an odd thing in this universe, and then like he comes to this and he's like, "Oh wow, this is my game."
Yeah, this is fine.
Well, Daryl went from a loner to a family man.
To boot,
he learned to accept people and to trust other people.
Right,
it wasn't him against the world.
Talk about evolution.
Yeah,
taking it back to beginning of season 9.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk about the specifics. Because like, so there's a big section like where Althea tries to contact Morgan via the helicopter radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that it's kind of like the questions, the mystery box thing is like at the beginning of the episode, there are 3 questions like, who's the lead that she mentions in the beginning? Like they say, "Oh, are you the lead?" And he was like, "No." What is the non-hostiles? There was a breaching protocol. What was that breach? Is the payload secure? And this one like had bells and whistles going off in my head. And then and she says yes. And as we go through the episode, I'm like, I'm putting a pin in here, and here. I'm going to come back to this note. But we do find out that the lead was her partner, who wanted to go MIA and then eventually became KIA, because of the radioactive walkers. You've got the non-hostiles, which is like, so what is the breach in protocol? And then you find out the breach in protocol is really Beckett. He was freaking out about the radioactive walkers, and she was the breach in protocol because she decided not to kill him right away, which is what she was supposed to do. And is the payload secure? And this is probably, I don't know if this is the one I really want to focus on more, but the water purifier from the nuclear plant.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what she was sent to pick up. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is twofold. Is because one, if you're not taking notes on the episode, there's a possibility that some of these things are harder to follow because you're kind of so dazzled by like the character narrative. You know what I mean? Like there's so much meat when it comes to emotions and the interplay between Isabel and Althea that like you'll miss like the finer points like that. And so I guess there is a question somewhere here, and that really, I mean, I would start with probably, I would really just go with the water purifier. Like, do you think that's true? First of all, like if you're gonna raid a nuclear power plant, is the water purifier the thing you want? I see all of you don't.
I'd
half of you
pass on
seem
that.
to not buy it, at least.
Yeah.
There's more
I
to the
would,
story.
I would pass on that.
Yeah.
I think it was a cover.
Okay. I believe it.
3 against 1. Let's see how this rolls out.
Would you drink from that?
Yes. It's the Commonwealth. They have Keurig. Would you
Hashtag
drink from the
radiation.
Keurig? Answer, yes. End of podcast.
Mic drop.
Until next time.
Yeah, no, because I mean, I think we all assume that like there has to be something to do with the nuclear reactor. Now, the question also is like, do you think that she had anything to do with what happened at all in this thing? Because it's going to lead to a bigger question down to the end of the episode. But yeah, do you think they just walked into a shitstorm?
Isabel?
Oh, well, Isabel and her partner, I guess.
Oh.
Or did they cause the shitstorm?
Oh.
Tough one.
A little bit of both, maybe?
Based on no, okay.
Oh, don't make me go into
Based
that.
on nothing. But no, I get it. It's a feeling.
I think maybe it was kind of the shit show was slowly starting and maybe they added to it. Because nothing's ever perfect in the apocalypse. We all know that. Nothing lasts forever.
Well, I guess a better question would be is then did our group like make a shitty situation worse
Don't they always?
with that plane crash? Yes, they do. But then they make
Yeah.
it better than before somehow. Maybe.
Yes and no.
At least make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it's just, and it's worth kind of keeping in the back of your mind, you know, as you continue to watch the season, I guess. Yeah. Oh, so one thing that I noticed right away that we didn't really get a good look of before is that you get to see the uniform during the day,
Yes.
and you get to
Yeah.
see
Can we talk about that uniform, please?
Yes, some of the details. So, by the way, I found out that the rings they're called Bore. Oh gosh, I wrote this down. Yes, Borromean rings. So it's Borromean if you want to look it up. But yeah, that's the pattern. So, but yes, let's talk about this thing because do you believe this bullshit about not getting bit if you have the
Okay,
jacket
so my first
I'm
theory
kidding.
with the whole not getting bit,
Yeah,
like when Al was like kind of quote unquote getting bit,
yeah.
it reminded me of Walking Dead. I think it was the season 4 mid-season finale with Tara's niece getting attacked by the Mudwalker.
Oh.
How like he crawled out of the mud, bam, got her. This time the walker's crawling out of the dirt and kind of doesn't really get her.
Mm-hmm. What are your feelings?
I want that suit badly for any future cosplays.
I can imagine it can't be that hard to make.
It can't be that light either.
No. But you know, good things aren't easy, you know?
I don't think it's real.
Right. Well, I mean,
Well,
I think
not that I don't think it's real. It's a bad way to put it.
but you don't think
Real?
you're not suspending your disbelief?
Like, I don't feel like it's all it's cracked up to be. Like, okay, maybe that was just like a glitch that maybe, okay, it worked that time. But there's no foolproof anything.
I mean, if
It almost seemed like Althea was like trying to like
Like
test
antagonizing
it out almost. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
I think the show
come
was
on,
kind of
get
testing it
get
out.
through this.
I dare you. I double dog
Yeah.
dare you.
I dare you to bite me.
Yeah. One of the things that I like even wrote was like do the cable, like I guess because there's copper wiring obviously, so there's some sort of copper weave or copper nickel or steel weave or something like that to kind of prevent them from fully clamping down, right?
Mhm.
So
The
like
Kevlar.
but yeah, and so I'm wondering also like does that weave facilitate like whatever powder that she's pouring on her in the pouring rain, pouring on her partner, and then lighting him on fire? Because like that would be kind of cool actually. Like how the suit makes it more flammable. So like yes, you are walker proof, but like if you're trying to fight a fire, please don't. You'll instantly light up.
Highly flammable.
Yeah,
Highly flammable.
the thought amuses me actually. Like, but what if that's like a cool like kill switch too? Like, what if they have remote kill switches on these people that instantly fry them?
Oh my gosh. It's like an ejector seat, but for fire.
Yeah, you breach protocol, brr, and then like,
Spontaneous combust.
yeah, and they electrocute them so hard that like they burst into flames.
That's like how a vampire goes outside during the daytime.
Yeah, exactly, kind of like that, except horrible. Like it's all electrocution.
Oh God.
Sick. Yeah. So I thought the suits were cool. Now that we could see them during the light too. I mean, not as kind of like, not stormtroopery, which is kind of like not real. Like if you really, really think about like, the stormtroopery suits that are in the comic, this seems more legit.
Plausible.
Yeah, like on the level,
It seemed easier to move around in.
Also not bright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's nothing brighter than white with like orange decals like in the front.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, it's
And
not,
super shiny.
yeah, it's not like a Corvette. it's more like a Honda Accord. It's like
Good car.
yeah,
Blends in.
blends into the background.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to see
But
them.
efficient.
Yeah. But speaking of seeing, by the way, like, what do you think this bitch sees with the helmet on? Okay, because like I gotta know.
It's like two little slits.
Are there, or is it like a HUD or something like that with like night vision and shit? Because I really want to know.
Based on everything that we kind of
duct tape all over it.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I don't know.
based on the whole thing with like how we were joking before about like the Keurig and such, they'd probably pull some like Tony Stark shit and just have like all electronic grid, like a map of like where to go.
Yeah.
Or yeah, or
That'd be
like
awesome.
or like the Predator, like where it's like
I was going to say Predator.
right, infrared.
Totally.
that would be at
100%.
least bit like kind of cool. Yeah.
It wouldn't really help with walkers though, right? Because they'd be cold
Exactly.
because they're dead.
You'd be screwed.
Okay, yes, we're dumb. That's true. We're just absolutely stupid. You were absolutely right, Rachel. Points to you. I bow.
Sorry, guys.
No,
Bow down.
yeah,
Smash your dream.
it's good to be disappointed. Oh, no predators.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
All right, 'cause I have theories on this. What did you guys think of the episode title in regards to what actually happened? Because like it's like the end of everything,
Oh, she's
that was pretty extreme.
right?
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It was
like,
too obvious that she was gonna die. Like there was no way she was gonna die. So
Mhm.
my theory was that it was gonna be like the end of everything as we knew it, because the real introduction of the helicopter.
like where shit gets real.
Kind of like, oh, we're used to getting like little teases about the helicopter here and there, but this is the first time we really got to like see the helicopter and kind of get more details, even though we have a lot more questions. So it's kind of the end of the little facade that we knew of the helicopter in a way.
I don't blame you, because that was my gut like reaction when I heard the title finally, which I didn't hear until way later on, and so like I didn't really think about it, but I was thinking, okay, somebody's gonna die at least. And since it is a bottle episode with Althea, I was like, maybe. I don't know.
It didn't make me think of anything until after the episode. And then the only thing, and this was really stretching, that I could relate it to was the bog tape. So that was, we found out from the beginning of everything, which maybe for Althea was the end of everything. When we find out she abandoned her brother, I assume.
Like the end of her old life.
Yeah, like that tape was the end of everything for Althea.
That's a really good observation.
Well, I mean, the direct reference
I
is
thought it was
like,
kind of a stretch.
yeah. Well, the direct
No,
references is to basically the zombie apocalypse. Like that's
Right.
the end of
Yeah.
everything. But maybe there is something to that though, because I mean, Isabel's the one who says it, and really, like when things fell, it feels like, and we don't know how she was, contacted by this group, but like it seemed like the moment she joined it, the moment her present was over, and she lived for the future only. So that's her end of everything.
Yeah.
But however, if you talk about the end of like with like the zombie apocalypse, it kind of ties into what Rachel just said. Like the end of Al's old life.
But I don't think she.
End of everybody's
That's the
old
thing.
life.
But she never stopped living her old life. That's the
No,
thing.
but with the brother and the tape.
Oh, I guess so.
I mean, it's all just theories.
Well, I guess that's like the irony, right? Like
Kinda.
Isabel's life was over, but Althea never let hers go, because
Yeah.
letting it go would mean letting go of her brother, or her brother's death meaning nothing.
But then
So
she
that's-
did kind of let go by opening up at the end.
Yes, exactly. And I definitely want to get into that, because that's
Oh my God, we
fucking-
have to.
Yeah. Yeah, everything I do is to ensure there's more stories left after I die.
That tape was also number 7.
Yeah.
So are we going to see 1 through 6 at some point here?
Yeah, because there's like 10 or
I hope so.
12 or something. I think there's... No, I'm sorry. There's 8, I believe.
Oh, I thought there was
No.
only 7.
I'll have to
And
look
that was
back.
only number 7.
We took... Well, no, I'm saying in total.
Of the bog, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
did
what-
record
the one
it
we
la-
saw was just 7.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember seeing the lockbox, and I remarked on it last... not last season, but like in the episodes 28 or 30 or something like that. Yeah. I should have blogged about it, because I definitely took a screen cap, but I just never posted it or anything. But yeah, there's a whole set of them. Yeah, but I guess 7 was the relevant piece of like how exactly things went down. And what's really good about that, and I might as well get into it now, but what's really good about that, it does give us more information on season 1. Like, why was the military,
Yeah.
why was the National, I guess it was the National Guard, why were they so weird?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's because when things were starting to go down, people were starting to see, oh, this could be an opportunity for a power grab. You know?
Oh
And
my
so,
God, I didn't even think that.
yeah. Well, what's going on in the tape, we might as well talk about it now, is like, what's going on in these tapes is like, it illustrates, and this is what Althea is holding on so tightly to, because it has to mean something. Like that the National Guard and the Army were facing off, and they were shooting at each other, and Althea's in the middle trying to capture all this.
Yeah.
You know, and she leaves her brother to get this story, never gets to say goodbye, and then finds out, I guess she must have found out later that her brother died. Her brother...
Or she's
That's
assuming.
old.
What was that?
We know if you don't see a body, they're not dead.
Well, she seems to feel like she knows. You know what I mean? Like she confirmed
Or
this.
she's convinced herself.
What is her brother's name? I'm trying to look for her brother's name.
No, but think
Jesse.
about it. Remember how she kept saying that, like, this is
Her brother was
that's meant to
Jesse,
be
wasn't
old?
he? Yeah.
Wait, which one of you said what?
Wasn't her brother's name Jesse?
Jesse, that's right. Thank
Yeah, Jesse.
Yeah.
you. But you asked a question, Meg.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
how she said, like, this is a story that's meant to be told.
Right,
So
right.
what if she thinks once the world kind of goes back to how it, or she hopes that the world goes back to how it was, that she can tell the story about the power grab?
Or not even then. Like maybe this story matters because it tells us how things went down so fast too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it seems like this happened all over. I don't know where Althea's from, but if it's anything like what happened in LA, that is bananas.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of the situation. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, I love that narrative because it makes you think, like, what could be so important? You know, what is this thing that's been driving Althea throughout her entire arc, like from season 4, and the bog. You do see literally those tapes in season 4, like a whole set of things labeled the bog 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, etc. And we asked that from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is important. This is important. And then we don't get to it until the next season. But I guess we got what we kind of wanted to. We got a bit of a backstory, which is interesting because I was almost convinced that we weren't going
A
to.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and in a way more, okay, tell me if you didn't get these vibes, like the same vibes you got when you saw Negan and Gabriel in the trailer. And Negan was kind of giving Gabriel some of the goods. Like, in a way, you're getting what you're finally looking for with Negan's, like, oh man, I was bad to my wife, and et cetera, et cetera. I was like a gym teacher or something like that. PE.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like we were
Yeah.
getting that with Al. Also.
I felt like we were getting pellets and we wanted the meal.
With Negan too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I guess they're converting from Fear the Walking Dead, where you get a full backstory before you get into the meat of who you're gonna be. But I guess that's the thing. Like, maybe that is really interesting because you do not get anything from Althea until right now. And it looks like now you're getting, finally, post-apocalyptic Althea.
Hmm.
Because she's kind of deferred. And this is something I kind of brought up in my notes too. It's like you're getting a whole bunch of deferred Althea, and you're getting a whole bunch of other things too, like Morgan talking about how it took him too long to leave, and Dwayne gets hurt as a result. You got John, no man is an island, in his cabin alone, waiting, and then only realizing later that everybody's dead in his town, waiting too long to leave his fucking cabin. You have Naomi Laura June, waiting a little too long to get her child the antibiotics, or taking too long to get back, which is really sad. But but again, you're talking about a person who's used to running, and there's a whole bunch of other people, like even Madison to a certain extent, like Madison waiting it out in the diamond instead of leaving, That's really sad, but
I think she just had her hopes built up. Like, I built this community. This is going to be home. I will do whatever it takes to make it survive.
Yeah.
And we all know how that turned out.
It was a really sweet place. I'd have tried to fight for it too.
Yeah,
I think that was my favorite settlement.
It was good, yeah.
I agree, and I think that's the thing. Like, it does make me think that these themes are recurring, and they're kind of bringing it up specifically here. And Grace, of course, Grace. We meet Grace, and it took her too long to realize there was no point in keeping this thing up. Let's put the rods in the cooling water and just call it a day. But no, and then people got hurt and people died, and they brought in more people and they died. So they're gonna go through this in the season, I guess. Okay. There is, so I kind of do want to get into the exact things that she does tell Althea about the Commonwealth. And it's like, it's bigger than all of us. Outside is the past. Basically what they're living in is the past, and what they're living in is for the future.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think when she said, Al, you don't want to go there? I kind of looking for Carol on this one. Yeah.
I was like, yes, I caught that. Oh God.
How did that make you feel when you heard that?
Very ominous.
Yeah.
It's like, especially to say you don't want to go there, but here's a beer that we have from our brewery over there. And you know what I mean? It was so interesting because she was like, no, you don't want to go there, but we're rebuilding, and we're the future, and we have all this stuff, but you don't want to go there. So I was like, is she kind of warning her that because it is kind of in the comic, this sort of kind of place that's sort of kind of masked as it's not masked as the happiest place on earth, but you know what I mean? It's one of those places that's very, very idyllic in the way that it just seems like this ideal society, not really with the Alexandrians not understanding the undercurrent of what goes on in order to upkeep and maintain this thriving society.
Human barbecue, like Terminus. No, I'm kidding.
Oh God, no.
Not that bad.
What you said about Alexandrians, how they didn't really understood what happened beyond the walls.
Right.
So it kind of ties in with that too.
Right. Yeah. I guess there is
they were just blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop the Instagram stream for a second and then just see if I can restart it. But give me a sec.
I don't think we ever lost it. I'm still watching.
Well, I had to kind of manually stop it because I want to see what happens if I can bring it back up. Because it was at the 59-minute mark.
Oh.
But I want you to think about that question. I want you to think about it.
So are we giving the listeners a homework assignment here?
I'm always giving them a homework assignment. Bitches don't do their homework, though.
Who does?
I know. Maybe I'm taking the wrong tack. There we go. Hold on a sec. And away. You guys tired? It's the end of everything.
I'm still on no sleep.
Wake the fuck up.
Honestly.
Catch up on sleep in the weekend, man.
Yeah.
Dude, the struggle is real. The struggle is real.
I hear you. I'm doing work after this, by the way.
Me too.
Sucks.
It
All
sucks.
right, here we go. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see if this bitch stays up.
Bitches stay up.
There we go. Yeah, I see you.
Oh, just got the notification.
I see you.
Too.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I see Rachel in the chat.
Dave, I think you need to just send
I'm
me a
here.
screenshot of what your background looks like.
No.
Like what I did earlier.
No, I'm not
So I
doing
want
it.
to see like this whole layout.
I'm not doing a print screen of this garbage right now. Maybe I will. I don't know. Here, I'll capture it in the meantime.
Like a
I'd have to
nice,
send it now too. though.
Panoramic.
Let's see here. Hold on, if I can do this really quick. Yeah, I'll show you. We're wasting your valuable time right now, just so I could send the group.
Guys, this is what happens behind the scenes
Yeah.
with the episode. Just FYI.
Hello, Instagram.
Random bullshit.
Oh, look,
Usually do all this beforehand.
Felicia Race joined our chat too. I've long time watcher.
Let's see. Dave sends a photo.
Yeah. Well, no, we don't have to look at it now. We can look at it after. It's a bit
Aw,
bananas right now, but yeah,
All right.
I'll show you later.
Meanwhile, Rach is in. She's like,
Yeah, but well, actually, what did the rest of you think about that proposition? Like when Isabel says you don't want to go there to Althea, like what kind of made you? What were you thinking along the lines of what she was saying?
so Al's defiant. She marched to the beat of her own drum. So I feel like when she hears you don't want to go there, that's just her being like, okay, I want to go there.
Well, now I want to go there more.
Exactly. Like when you tell a kid don't touch the wet paint, they're gonna touch the wet paint.
I'm
So-
gonna lick it.
Getting what you can't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused. It
Yeah.
confused me when she said that, because this is a place that she's fighting for,
right.
that she plans to go back to. But then telling Althea not to go, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
It kind of reminds me of Star Trek. I'll be honest. Like if you think about like Star Trek, how every episode had to kind of wrap it up. Like every time Captain Kirk would make out or other stuff with like some alien chick or girl thing person, you get this kind of like, well, it's time to go. See you later. No long-term attachments. I can do that, you know. And so there was a bit of that going on too.
Ooh.
Oh, and Steph says, you see what Steph says? Freakish order. She said,
Yeah,
it's as if they're experimenting on people or something.
that's a possibility.
I guess we'll find out.
And she's afraid that Al would be a
A
Yeah.
guinea pig.
An experiment.
She knows she's safe because she's a soldier. But if Althea shows up,
she would
Yeah.
just be
ooh,
No guarantee.
maybe that's if that does tie in with the bees. Well, we kind of know it does. That could be what the bees are. I know we never really got a clear answer on what an A and a B,
Mhm.
but one of them could be experiments since they took
one could be useful in the community.
because how they said Rick is now a B.
That's
They could
interesting.
be like, oh, do an experiment, and then he breaks out and
Well, the more you guys are like,
AMC call us. We got theories.
the more you guys are talking about, the more I'm thinking about like how, okay, so maybe the B's are more safe because they have a specific function, but the A's like anything goes. Like you could be
Like a superhuman type almost.
You could be an experiment, or you can be a leader, or you can be this or that. But the B seem, which makes me think like, oh, is this like a communist society where the proletariat lead or something like that, or the
Wouldn't be
proletariat
surprised.
are safe?
Anything goes in the apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh, the Felicia Wright's saying like 1984, or like it's basically like The Handmaid's Tale. You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there you go.
God.
Yeah.
Go figure, folks.
Oddly enough, somebody was dressed as a handmaid
At the
fan fest.
which
the
makes
con.
sense. It's a fan. It's a
So
multi-fan now.
imagine like if it does wind up tying into that.
Oh, you know what you should do, Meg? Like you should
What?
dress up with the CRM uniform with the Handmaid's Tale's bonnet, you know, or like a red version.
I would pass out from sweating.
Oh, no kidding.
Now I
Think of
definitely
how
want
hot
to
it
do
is under that costume.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's copper wire, so you can make an air conditioning suit. You know.
So you're gonna foot the bill and make it for me, right?
Well, I mean, you have to drive the prototype before I give it to my wife.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What are you about 5'5", right?
You're kind, not even 5 foot.
Are we all like? Well, I think what Rachel, you're the tallest
are you
one,
little?
right?
That blows my mind. I'm not taller than anyone I know.
How
I'm
tall are you?
shorter
like,
than everyone.
Arms up, so you can't even get an idea.
They grow
of my
them
height.
pretty tall in Michigan. I'll say that
How
much.
tall are you, Rach?
Okay.
Is this one of those
Technically-
things like age? Like,
And
should we
you
not
go
talk?
high topic again.
Kinda. Technically, I'm only 5'3.5", but I tell everyone I'm 5'4".
Ooh, I'm 5'3.5".
Okay, Meg, I'm 5'2". You're
I'm
taller.
4'11".
Really?
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
Like my
I see everybody give that same reaction.
Carol, like Lisa. Remember Lisa?
You too.
Yes, she's tiny.
She's my
So
roommate.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Aw.
Still tiny.
Can you imagine how this group photo in Atlanta is gonna be?
Okay, everybody in height
Meg's
order.
in the front.
I'm used to it.
Hey, I used to be the shortest. So
Yeah, I'm
No.
usually in the front because I'm always the shortest.
see again.
I'm
So
so
you're the shortest
happy.
in Michigan. I know that for sure. Like
Yeah.
they grow them so tall in Michigan. I swear
Okay,
to
here's a
God.
comparison. I'm the same height as Snooki.
Okay.
Truth.
So just a little comparison there.
Oh man.
And
I don't know
when
how tall JWoww is, but I imagine.
she's
I don't
pretty
know.
tall.
Like,
yeah.
isn't Snooki like up to JWoww's boob? Like, it's
Well,
like-
I've actually seen JWoww a bunch of times because of
Okay,
where
then
I
no.
live. And she's pretty tall.
Okay. Wait, is that with or without heels?
Flip flops.
Dang, son.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to me, anyone over 5 foot is tall. So, like, you
I
guys
mean,
are all
yeah.
giants to me.
I'm used to looking up at everyone too.
Yeah, you'll be looking at like
Yeah.
my eyebrow. That's not, that's not any. I'm not that much taller than 3 inches taller than you.
I am getting
Picture
older
that.
now, so I may have shrunk.
That I saw that in your face. You're like, technically, I'm 5'3.5",
I know.
but technically I'm 5'3"
7'8".
because we're getting older.
Yeah.
It's called osteoporosis.
I've probably lost a half an inch.
Yeah, I think
Jesus, I'm going to be 4'8" by the time I die. I'm fucked.
Oh, my husband's aunt is like 4'2", maybe. I don't
Whoa.
know. She's a little lady.
I hope to be
Guys,
able-
this is a great
This
Fear
is
the
a-
Walking Dead recap.
because I'm
Yes.
thinking of us in the Commonwealth and how useless we are.
No, I'm just thinking of how easy it is for us to hide and just duck under stuff.
Yeah.
represent the Fear the Walking Dead kids. Like we could play
We
as
would be the
doubles
entertainment.
for the children, basically.
I wear like kid shoes, so yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
You could just pretend to be a kid forever.
I mean,
Then you'd
don't-
be safe.
I think we all
You know,
kind of
people
do.
think
don't
I'm
we?
like 10 years younger than I actually am. Like I posted a picture on Instagram of me and both Henrys, and some guy was like, "Oh, he said something." He's like, "Wait, how old are you?" And I told him. He's like, "I thought you were like 20."
You do look. See, you do look younger than us. I'll say that much. I do feel like because I know Carol, so I know how old she is. But but yeah, like the rest of you guys look like babies.
I don't know how old you are,
know.
Meg.
I'll PM you.
Okay.
No, I don't care. I'm gonna be 30 this month.
I was
Or
gonna
31
say
this month.
you look 10
Nothing.
years younger than us. I
No,
know
I'll be
that.
31 at the end of the month.
That's
My-
nothing.
My birthday's on Thursday. How old do you think I am?
I'm not even gonna try.
Wait, how old do I think you are?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know your age. So well, the fact that you told me you have a kid. So I honestly thought you were like late 20s.
I'm gonna sip this tea
Well, thank
here.
you. I'll be
I'm not
35
very
on
young.
Thursday.
Wouldn't have guessed.
35.
That was
Yeah.
not my guess.
Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday, and that's still super young.
Why, how old are you?
Baby, she's a baby.
I'm like 40.
Yeah,
Shut the front door.
we're 40.
Yeah.
I'm not that
This
far
makes
behind.
sense. This looks 40.
We're all like, Carol, no way.
This is exactly what you'd think a 40-year-old will look like. Maybe even worse. I look like I'm 50.
No.
You know what though? If I shave, it's like 10 years. Honestly,
So
10,
just
ye-
shave.
10 years in sunglasses. Then it's
What?
like 5 more years. You don't see the truth.
Don't worry, guys.
Also, the
Doesn't look you in
microphone
the
kind of
face.
hides it. So
Yeah,
like when you talk like this, you're fine.
yeah. Hey guys, what's up? Podcast is. Yeah, actually, you do kind of
Just
see that.
Keep it like this the whole time.
Yeah.
You'll be
So
fine.
that's how it all starts. Okay, so we're talking about like, okay, Althea. Basically, in this episode, you have 2 people. Like, talk about age and how you live your life. You have 2 people that are willing to die for their cause. Clearly, it's like you see Althea going for the bag in the car and almost killing herself with the walker, and you have Isabel who's willing to die for her, the future and those principles, like killing her friend. As much as she tried to kind of break protocol, she still ended up shooting him and throwing his key away because she hated herself for doing it, probably. But like, who actually won in this scenario? Like, somebody had to win in this conflict. and I'm not, or I don't know. What do you think? What do you think was the result of this kind of like ideological conflict
Between Althea and Isabel?
between Althea's truth, or her dedication to truth and the story, or Isabel's fight for the future? I mean, if you had to kind of break it down, in a point system, like in a boxing fight, who won this round by judge?
That's hard to compare the two, I think.
Yeah.
And especially considering it's coming from both of their own perspectives. I think they both think that their idea, their mission is the most important thing. I think they're both right, because that's what they believe and that's how they survive. And it's
they both
working.
walked away. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, I feel like they both walked away like hopeful,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like they both walked away kind of like uplifted, like kind of feeling like, they saw like a better future. Like they both kind of went. I liked when they kind of like, after they embraced and they kind of like walked away and they kind of parted ways. One goes to the left, one goes to the right.
That was a great shot.
That was a very good shot.
Like,
that was a very good
It
shot.
tells you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Like how sudden and how heartbreaking that moment is. Like it's like this weird where we have to do this, and we have to like ripping a Band-Aid off. We gotta do this.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of,
But they kind of walk away with that fleeting moment of like hope and happiness. Like, I mean, it's so hard to find happiness in like this universe. So to have that moment, even if it's just a moment.
We've
And
talked
then
about
Al's
this.
face right after that too, where she's just like,
and then she opens
she
up.
just looks happy.
Which I just
she looks
posted.
happy for a
I
minute.
posted just before the show, by the way.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
look on her face after all that goes down, and she's just
I
like,
smiled when I saw that.
"Wow,
Mhm.
yeah, I did too." I'm like,
Yeah.
all this horribleness, and like for a moment, there was
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the hope is what caused Al to open up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
So, by the way, it does kind of follow my swan song theory, like choosing to be a part of the world instead of outside it. She gives her the tape to give to the future so that the story could be told in her absence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like there's a moment where Al gives her the story so that it relieves her burden. Like, because that's what she's been doing the entire time. She's been stuck in this mode for so long. And she's been perpetuating this kind of like, if I couldn't have said bye to my brother, well, I'm going to continue living for the story and getting other people's stories and making things matter, and building this thing, because is from that moment on. And then we've got to tell the story from that moment on, see what the effect is from that one moment in Bog 7, and then how that translates to everybody else's ruined lives. And then, but like giving her that Bog 7 is like, here, take this.
Mm-hmm.
This is my burden. I'm going to lay it down, because like she says, I can die knowing that, I went beyond the story. Like I live for something other than the story.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was in church just then when you're like, this is I felt like I was getting communion.
Here's the wine of the sacrament. Here's the
Body
here's
of
the blood, the body of Christ. Here's the blood of Christ right here. It's clear. What? It's crystal
Never the
crystal
same.
Jesus. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, Kathy.
I was
It's a
really at the end there. Well, first when Althea asked her, like, you're gonna have to kill me, right? And she was like, oh yeah, sorry. And then at the end, when she's actually got her gun to her, everything in me thought we were losing Althea, because
Me too.
I did.
she killed her friend.
Yeah.
That was way harder than killing a stranger. So
Yeah.
why do you think she stopped? Why didn't she kill Althea?
On the rewatch, I noticed some things, and I was going to bring them up throughout, but it was like,
Is it just because she likes her?
See,
or-
that's the thing. That's what I wanted to know, because like, was it that early on? Because there are some signs that like, I need your help, and so was it just because she needed her help, or was it because she just killed her friend and she just like needed to feel alive, feel like she could have something for now, just like her friend with the cabin?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, because I really genuinely want to know. Like, I kind of want the consensus of like why does Isabel kind of Althea does something when Isabel finally finds the tape, right, in the bag, at the bottom of the bag. She cuts it open and etc. Right, and Al just shuts down, because it rocks her fucking world. You know, like she's never showed anybody the tape. She has complete control over her destiny, her raison d'etre, as they say, like her reason for being.
She controls how much people see of her.
Well, yeah. As long as she has that tape hidden away in a lockbox in the MRAP, usually. But yeah. But yeah, like that's her reason for being. That's the reason why she operates the way she does in the world. It's like taking June away from John when he was trying to hot pursuit her. You know, like that was his thing. Without that, because I even wrote in notes, like it's like when John was stranded with Strand in like the middle of that ranger station, right? It's like you see him suddenly wither away, and so I'm just thinking like when the gun is at her head and Isabel takes away Althea's purpose, like she starts like, and this is like way before the gun scene, sorry, like when she's at the top of the mountain, there's something she says like this world is so ugly, you know, like she's feeling that little bit of vulnerability after like finally telling her about the story. But then, like, you know, then she's looking at the stars and she's finally noticing how beautiful they are. Like this weird, like you're starting to see Al kind of be a part of this world, you know, for the first time. Like, she literally was stuck in the past, like Isabel said, but like in more ways than she knew.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a question though, it's like, there's just so much here.
I feel like whatever guard Althea did have up, the second that bag was ripped open, it was ripped out of her hands. Like that guard was gone. She knew she was never going to get it back. So she kind of had no choice but to acclimate to the new way she was going to be, I guess.
The new world
that
order.
came out really bad.
It's
I
not
don't know.
understand.
I get
I know
that.
what you mean. Yeah.
But it kind of also, like, here's the other question then, like, because I even wrote this down, I was like, why does Althea not put up a fight with Isabel when it comes time for her to be put down? Like, Althea could have tried to take her out. There was like a moment.
The guard was gone. She had nothing.
Because Isabel's guard was down. She could have been like, fuck this, I'm going bananas. But maybe it was too late. Maybe her telling her the story was already too late. Maybe she had already given up on it. She was like, maybe it was already out of my hands the moment I told you. You know what I mean? Like maybe having told you, it's like, I already know that I may not even live past this moment. So like me telling you this means that you're part of this. And so I'm giving this to you. You know, you have the means for me to keep this thing in the future, like to give this to the people that matter. And that, here's another question then, I guess. Like, do you think, because Isabel does have the tape by the end of it.
Right.
When she takes it back with her. I'm thinking this. What if...
she burned it.
No. Oh, she burned the one of the CRM maps.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong tape. I was thinking of the wrong tape.
Which is the whole reason why she kept her alive. Hypothetically. But, I'm thinking this. I'm thinking, do you think that tape may have more significance to the Walking Dead universe? Knowing how things go down, do you think it might even be the key to the Commonwealth's demise? Knowing how they may have gotten everything together? Do you know what I mean? Like, what if the National Guard or the Army won out, and what was birthed from that, the control, was the Commonwealth? I mean, could this mean much more than we even think it means?
If Althea filmed all that, though, she would, not only would she have that on tape, she would have that knowledge, too.
Yeah.
She would know. Don't you think she would recognize? Well, I'm not. No, I'm sure they would have changed uniforms and stuff. That's true. So she would at least know that somebody took control.
Well,
she would know who won.
Obviously, no uniform. Well, do you think so though? Like, do you think she knows maybe the origins, but maybe she ultimately doesn't know what ended up happening afterwards? Like, who won out really?
Right.
Maybe she got the F out before anything really could happen to her.
Yeah.
Because like it's like even Isabel saying it was dangerous. Whatever you did was dangerous. Well, how did you do that? You know.
Yeah.
But how did you feel? Like, here's the thing. So, I'll admit, like when I saw this. Like, because you're in this tense moment. Althea's face is right to the camera. there's like a solid 5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And then like Isabel's like shouts out, "I want you to live." And I got to tell you, like, I watched it 2 times. You know, I watched the original time, like, I think Friday night, and then I watched it again Sunday night. And both times, like, my stomach was in my throat. I was, like, about to fucking burst out into tears. I swear to God. It just gets you out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, what was going on in your mind, like, when you first heard that? Like, it is the line. The line is what gets you. Like,
I had a lump in my throat.
Yeah. The line just gets you.
And then I screamed a moment later when that happened.
I gotta say, you're the prettiest thing I've seen since the end of everything. And like, I'm like, holy shit, I
was floored. I was shocked.
That was magic. That was like, whoa. That was like
unexpected.
You should see her after a shower.
And the moment's gone.
Nice while it lasted.
The part of Dave will be played by Rachel today. I can't wait to do episode notes because that was perfect.
I think we found the top moment of the episode tonight.
Oh, that's going in the clip right there.
I think that's how much editing you have to do with this episode.
Well, that's the end of this episode. It's the end of everything.
Right.
The end of everything.
We do bar mitzvahs. Anyway, yeah, there goes my lungs. Yeah,
I was surprised. I did not expect that.
Yeah, I don't think Al did either. Oh, did you?
But there was a look on her face when she was facing the camera and she said, "I want you to live." Like, she kind of like, almost as if she knew. Maybe she did have an inkling that there was something there.
Yeah, and I think there was a moment, actually, that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
When she finds the tape and Al shuts down, stops answering questions, just like Isabel wasn't answering hers. Like, part of me was thinking, do you guys think that maybe this is also kind of a tactic? Like, if I shut down, maybe she'll start talking more. And it's true. Isabel starts to talk more.
It worked.
Yeah. Well, or was this Al genuinely shutting down? I mean, I think you could say both, but it's just something to notice too. Yeah. Everybody's talking about like, Felicia Ray's even saying Al acknowledges the story's bigger than she is. Miss Mausel's saying, I don't think it's over with Althea and Jadis look alike.
Jadis look alike?
And then, and I did see a meme with Jadis and Sidney Lem and Isabel in the same photo comparing the haircuts. Like Jadis V1.
But at least those horrible bangs.
Sentences. Like, you have to, at least be appreciative of that.
Yeah, and Isabel acknowledges the story got bigger than her humanity. So like they're both acknowledging that, is it worth holding on to for even just a second,
Yeah.
Just acknowledge something in
Isabel
here now.
without thinking of Jadis.
Yeah. Oh man. So that is the question of the day. Will we see Isabel again?
Yes.
Oh,
In general,
that was
or
way
in
too
the
quick,
Walking
and I
Dead
love
only?
it.
Well, they told us her name. Of course, we're going to see her again.
Yeah. She has a name.
She wasn't a typical red shirt.
Yeah,
Well,
but the
no.
thing is, though, will we see her again in Fear the Walking Dead, or will we see her in the movies?
That's
That
more
is the
what I was
question.
looking for, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may not even see her in the
Definitely
movies.
see her in the movies. We will definitely see her there.
Maybe both.
That's kind of what I'm thinking a little bit.
Like one more time on the show
Do you think
than the
so?
movies.
I mean,
Well,
I guess it depends on if the water purifier was the thing they were looking for,
But
right?
then again, look at Alex from the webisodes. We saw her once, twice in season 2, and then we haven't seen her in 3 seasons.
That's also a good point. Well, then I guess the question is, will we see her again this season of Fear the Walking Dead? That's more of what I'm asking.
yeah.
Maybe in the finale, maybe.
I think that she's going to come back. She's going to reappear again. I think so.
I gotta
In
admit,
front of the group, because Al didn't let on that she saw her.
Right.
And just
Exactly.
stir up a whole ton of controversy.
well, that's another question. Do you think Al will crack at all?
No.
No. I don't think so.
Even if they come together, like let's say Isabel has a group with her and Al's with our group, and we somehow cross paths, and these two see each other again.
That
You
is
think
when
they'll-
I think they'll crack.
Yeah.
Well, I think the cat's out of the
Al would
bag
be
at
like,
that
hey
point.
guys, look who I saw.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the cat's kind of out of the bag at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, but one-on-one, I will not tell anybody.
No,
No.
not unless she has a reason to.
Exactly.
Yeah, Felicia's saying that like not until the movies, by the way. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm really caught.
Yeah.
I have no read on whether that's going to happen. Because if you give her credit, then you feel like she's going to show up again, right? But
Right.
Well, I feel like a character like that we're gonna need to see again so that we remember her from in the movies.
Yeah.
perhaps. And I think you're right. You need a little bit more exposure. But like that's what gets me a little excited. Because
Use your words.
if they do show her again this season, well then I'm excited about how they get to do that. Like how they pull this mysterious character and this mysterious organization back into the fore. And then this kind of goes back to some of the questions we had in previous episodes, which is who's the big bad? Because we said it was CRM in the last episode, and it's clearly not. Well, not clearly not.
I mean,
It's still
could be.
Like everything's unclear. Like,
Yeah.
which I like. I think that's really cool. I think it to keep you guessing in such a way where, like, after 10 years, everything more or less feels like it could be it's predictable, right? I mean, to keep you guessing and on your toes. I'll have to admit, I'm giving it to Fear on this one. It's not as predictable as it feels.
No.
Like I think they were trying to do that last year, by the way,
With
and
Mel?
and then it kind of just fell off. Like more along the lines of like the stadium and what it meant to keep it and losing Madison. I think they had me for the first half, and then there were some really good post episodes, like post mid-season episodes.
There were moments.
Right. But like something just fell off, and her name is Martha. But there's other things too, obviously. Go with Martha.
Let me ask you. You know how you and I kept going back and forth with the whole elements of surprise? What do you think what are your thoughts on how they kind of are giving us the element of surprise by not knowing who the big bad is?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. It's like it's cloaked in mystery. Because again, like I know ever since we talked about Grace possibly being a bad guy, it's kind of it brings me to sneak peeks because we got a little bit of a sneak peek at the end of the episode, but there was an AMC.com sneak peek.
I didn't see that one.
But let's start with the little stuff. Like Morgan addresses the kids about finding a way out, probably to get towards the mill. I would have to assume. We don't know, but I'm assuming Dwight is going to be taking care of the kids while the grown-ups are out to play. That's going to be fun to watch.
They're going to tie him up and he's going to be screwed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can you imagine?
They're gonna make fun of his scar.
Hey, mister. Poke.
Yeah. I'm not touching you.
You better not. But yeah, so there's this one scene. This is kind of like, I guess it may not be over with the kids. Is that like Dylan's on the radio, and Annie's saying like, "Who are you talking to?" And he's like, "Don't worry, they're far enough away." I'm like, "Wait, what? I thought they were like down with the grown-ups now, with the hip grown-ups dancing like grown-ups."
Nothing.
It's killing me, man. I mean,
There's only isn't there like only a certain radius that radios can hit?
that radio.
That like a
certain distance.
Well,
Yeah.
he's next to that broadcast radio in the truck stop. So he has the best radio. So maybe he's at a vantage point where he can hear more than everybody else can.
Well, the reason I said that is because I know I keep going back to this season 2, but look what happened with Alicia in the radio. She thought so they were far enough away and they took the Abigail hostage. So how far are these people away that he's talking to on the radio?
These people, yeah. I mean, and who was he talking to? Oh, well,
exactly.
Yeah.
Who he's talking to? What if he's talking to the guy that whatever his name was,
Logan,
that we saw?
Logan.
First episode.
That's kind of what I was thinking as well. Like, are they like trying to negotiate? Like, are they trying to go through like do like a Priceline thing where they're switching back and forth between Priceline and Expedia and seeing who has the better price? Kids of the internet / apocalypse. It's all about the money, isn't it? Well, so the bigger sneak peek is you do see Morgan go through the barricades into the radioactive area. He runs in. And the bigger sneak peek is that you see Morgan radio Grace. And she's like, "You're going to love the people we just met." Things like that. And I found some people you'd be interested in. That's what he said. And then you see her from her end. She's in the car. She's in the full radioactive gear, and she's just like, she just turns off the radio. It doesn't look like suspicious or anything. Like she's not making a face, but she's looking out into the dashboard, kind of like from the side like this. She looks down at the radio and just starts turning it off slowly. And then she goes and she steps out of the car and she goes through the barricades herself.
Like she's hiding from someone almost.
Or maybe hiding from herself, like after an episode like this one where you finally get Al to become part of the story. You know, are we reaching a point where Grace is stuck? Like, not quite Morgan stuck, but more like Althea stuck. You know? Does she feel because you do get a sense that she feels responsible and she's making meaning of her life before she dies. But maybe that's not enough. Like another one of those things that I thought of, like, and I wrote this big note on this episode, was that you get this repeating theme of opening the door to possibility. Like that big speech that Morgan gives to Alicia is that you see Althea opening the door to possibility, and then, you know, obviously there's a risk or there's a payment to that, and that's her telling her truth finally. But then she gets rewarded with this like kind of love, this pure kind of love, and then she tells everybody her last name by the end of the episode. She's telling Morgan and Alicia. And let me pronounce this so I can butcher this later, but it's Althea
Szewczyk-Pryzygocki.
Yeah, that's how she says it, but I actually plugged it into Google Translate, and it's...
I went to high school with someone with that last name.
Pryzygocki. Pryzygocki. That's how you're supposed to say it. Yeah. Szewczyk
From the motherland.
Yeah. I would just be like, yeah, that name.
Yeah. Yeah. We were watching that with the subtitles on, and I was like, holy crap, like the whole alphabet just flashed up on my
head. There's no vowels.
No.
There's
all
just
S's and Z's and Y's and X's.
There's literally just an E and an O. And well, there's an I at the end. Yeah. Szewczyk-Pryzygocki. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And that's going to be the hashtag for every time I mention Althea on Instagram.
I think we should take a drink every time you butcher the name.
By the way, if you look at that hashtag, there's only one photo. Ours.
Nice.
Althea, and I'll spell it for you so you can look it up yourselves. It's Althea, SZEWCZYK PRYZYGOCKI. Time for bed.
Once more with feeling.
No. Yeah, so I think we got everything here. I mean, I wanted to do more, but I did mention that the one thing that you do see in the little connective tissue between last issue and this issue was, do you remember how Max and Annie, or it was the it was the episode beforehand where Max and Annie were hiding out from that soldier who happens to be Isabel? Mm-hmm. You thought that that the soldier had heard her, but it turns out that the soldier did not hear her at all. He just moved like Darth Vader or like a robot. That's Isabel in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a relief.
What'd you think of her weapon?
Oh, so awesome.
I know.
That thing was so badass.
I want that as my weapon.
It was a gun to boot, by the way.
Awesome. The pitchfork on the end, that was awesome.
That is like perfect because you don't have to worry about getting too close, but you can still shoot far.
It's the apple picker. It's the apple picker gun. I thought we decided on this. It looks like one of those apple picking baskets, you know?
Okay.
To get at the top.
I like the pitchfork idea better.
Yes, it is a pitchfork. Yes, I know, but it's funnier when you say apple picker because then it's a head in a basket, you know?
Apple picker. Like a head on a pike?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But then those bring up bad memories. And Cloud Henry knows what I mean. She's on the stream right now.
Oh.
Sorry, Cloud Henry. Which, by the way, going back to FanFest New Jersey, I'm shouting out Mini Carl Walking Dead.
Oh my god, I finally got to meet Mini Carl.
Yeah, Mini Carl Walking Dead does this really good Henry on a pike cosplay. It's literally him, a backdrop with a hole cut in the middle of a sky. Yeah, and he just carries a stick and it's in front of his neck, and it's him. Look it up, it's hilarious.
Of Cassady McClincy meeting Mini Carl.
Oh, that was the best.
Hilarious.
Because I've seen him meet other people, like including
he met Henry.
Yes, of course, and that was the first one I saw of him doing that cosplay.
Same, yeah.
But like meeting Cassady McClincy and knowing her energy, It was bananas.
Oh my god, I don't know how she stays so hyper, but she is literally the sweetest girl you will ever meet.
I would say something, but it's
to Atlanta because I will pay the money to meet her again.
Yeah, she's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Every
She was
penny.
in Chicago, but I didn't get to meet her. I gave Ryan Hurst all my money.
I did say I don't know who here is a fan of Aaron. But when I talked to him, I was like, I told him I was going to go to Atlanta, and he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. So it hasn't been announced that he's going.
Okay.
But I think he is kind of, you can tell he wants to go. So I think he's just waiting for like
You should tell
the
him,
confirmation.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Do it. By the way, Felicia Ray saying, look up Michael Rooker on his Instagram today. I guess it might have something to do with, meeting Minnie Carl, Walking Dead.
Yes.
Oh,
I
cool.
saw that today.
Yeah.
Cool.
Seeing those two worlds collide, I could see him going bananas over this meetup. Because Michael Rooker is not a normal person. Kind of like my Cassady Quincy, though.
I saw his panel, and he tried to ride a bike off the stage. Or on the stage. I know he rode it on the stage, but I don't know if he tried to ride it off or not.
Did he sustain massive injuries?
From what I saw, no.
Guys,
but you could hear him from across the room.
Guys, I'm riding a bike. It's going down. Oh man, I could just see it in my head. It's terrible.
I know we're leading up to the mid-season finale, and I had asked Jenna Elfman, I was like, am I gonna need tissues? And she would not answer me. I was like, I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Damn it. That's like the worst. You really shouldn't have asked that question, because it's what if it isn't?
Right.
She's good.
Well, even
Could
if
be happy tears too.
Exactly. So whether it's happy or sad, I'm gonna need tissues because I cry at the drop of a hat.
I cry more at happy things than I do sad.
Me too. Especially
I cry in happy songs. Like that's how bad I am.
Noted.
Usually the things that make me sad make me laugh.
Oh my god.
Scary.
I don't know if I said this.
I scream like the Pikes.
I don't know if I said this on the podcast before, but Russell Crowe's Gladiator. I could say that in English again.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters, and like when I saw the first slaughter, I laughed out loud for some reason.
I probably
would have too.
I was howling. Now, not that it was funny, but it was just like, like holy shit, this guy's head flew off.
Now, if I see people get hurt, I laugh, and then I ask if they're okay.
Like, no, I don't laugh at people's misery, life. But like, just something about movie gore, or like not movie gore, but it's like just like when these kinds of scenes take themselves seriously, there's just something like it's like monster. It's like something a guy has where it's like monster trucks and mayhem. It just bubbles out of me. I just start laughing hysterically.
I think we do a reaction video of watching a really bad horror movie and just have four different reactions.
Yeah, like literally, we'll have four different close-up cameras, and I'll just be like.
You would not be able to tell what movie I'm watching just based on the reaction, because I would laugh at all the inappropriate times.
Oh my god. Yeah. I just had a bad thought. Like, if I do this project with my mom watching the first season, first episode of The Walking Dead, I will be in tears laughing at my mom's horror.
You gotta record it.
I feel bad for her, and I think she's still watching the Facebook stream, and I'm sorry, Mom. But
hi, Mom.
I'm so sorry, Mom. This is gonna happen. We're gonna watch the first season, first episode of Walking Dead, and I mean, if you love me and you're supporting me right now, obviously.
I kind of wanted to always do like a reaction video for like my YouTube.
Definitely think you should do that. And your mom always, didn't your mom say something about being on Squawking Dead or something like that? Like you being on Squawking Dead or something?
Wait, my mom?
Yeah, wasn't it? Like you said something last week about that.
She thinks it's cool, but she would never watch it because she doesn't know anything about A Walking Dead.
Well, I mean,
she just knows I'm obsessed with it.
I think we should make all of our moms do that. I mean, assuming you have moms.
Oh, my mom would never do it. I have to like get her like Sunday nights. Like I watch Walking Dead religiously, like live, like
Same.
Fear. Sometimes like I'll watch afterwards or whatever, like on my phone or iPad, whatever. But Walking Dead, I have to watch when it happens. So it's like I tell like my mom, like, take care of the kids. I'm going to go into the bedroom. We're going to close the door.
They're your responsibility.
I'm not coming out until like it's over. So like my mom like tells my kids, it's like, okay, well, mommy's going to go watch her monster show now. So
yeah, that's right. That's what she says.
Scare the kids.
No.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
man.
Rachel's got her kid watching Freddy, Jason movies.
Yeah.
To be fair, I
Silas
think
isn't scared
Like,
by
two
Walking
different
Dead. He just thinks
parenting
it's
styles are
boring.
but your
You're
kids
insane.
are much older though, right, Rachel?
My son's 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
You have only one kid?
Yep, just
What?
one boy.
Why? No, I'm kidding.
Because that's enough.
I just
I'm
remember
done.
that he was older than Carol's kids. So, like, because your oldest is 7, I want to say?
Who, me?
Yeah. Or is it?
No,
Is it 5?
Natalie just turned 5.
Five,
and
5.
Lucas will be 4. So
Okay.
I got my
toddlers.
little kid in the corner here.
Aw.
Here's my little kid. He's always beautiful, right? He looks like Iron Man. It's great.
Look how much.
Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we're done with this episode with the vape.
On that note,
Well, there was one thing I wanted to talk about before we go.
Oh, that's right.
The
Thanks for reminding us.
The mountain climbing scene.
oh, that was so.
Did I feel like I missed a little bit, or maybe I was seeing things that weren't really there.
That's entirely
The whole, it absolutely is. The whole scenario where, Isabel was over here by the walker, and then she wanted to move with Althea, but she had this weird look on her face like it was a setup. And I kept waiting for something bad to happen. And then she fell. And I'm like, and then they were hooked in, like she hooked in, and then she didn't fall all the way. And it just happened very quickly. And then I wanted to,
repeating, you fall, I fall.
Right.
yeah.
The
But
beginning
then
of
she
the-
fell, and neither one of them fell.
Yeah. Well, no, what you're supposed to do, I don't know if that, and that's interesting that you bring that up because like not a lot of people know that when you go tandem climbing and if one person falls off and it's the bottom one, then you're kind of supposed to cut the other person loose. Literally, that's like
Did
protocol.
say at one point, cut
See,
me loose.
Althea breaks protocol. That's what you're supposed to do to survive. Otherwise, the weight would have held her up alone. I mean, you're both
So
supposed
why
to be,
did they need to switch places?
Did they switch places?
yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes. Althea was supposed to come over and help her with hooking in. I think it was. See, that's the thing that shows how badass Althea is because she kind of did it all herself. Like where Isabel fell, Althea, because she was supposed to take the walker out because they want to hook into that one. The whole thing was they were supposed to hook into where that walker was hooked in. That because it's a secure kind of waypoint.
That was the goal.
That was the goal ultimately.
Okay.
And Sydney couldn't hack it, Or, sorry, Isabel. I keep calling her Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
so
says this
okay.
at a specific point. She's like, I need your help, getting...
She couldn't reach it or
or
something?
I need you to get closer because, to kind of help her reach it or help her get to that point. Yeah.
But then when she ultimately falls, we see a wide angle there, and Althea's right next to the walker, and now Isabel's way over where Althea was.
Yeah.
And then she falls.
Yeah. I didn't 100%...
That confused me.
Glitch.
No, that kind of makes sense because depending on... Because, okay, they weren't quite hooked in at the top. Yeah, they were hooked in right at the point just below the walker. So technically, Althea could have still stayed up.
Mhm.
Yeah, she did fall a little bit. Okay, so because there's 2 hook-ins, there's not just one. I don't know if you noticed that.
It looked like there were multiple. Isabel was, sticking them up all the, the whole way up there, and then she had something drilled in the side, and then she stuck the little thing in and clipped it. And I'm not a mountain climber, obviously, but yeah, the whole thing was very confusing to me. And then I thought, did I look away for a half a second and miss something, or it just wasn't adding up?
Yeah, because I think what it was is, and you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I don't really know how they got hooked up because I did see one frame. The rope was kind of taut between them, like super taut, and then obviously Althea's coming over. But did they hook in the rope that's in between them to the notch below them, and then Isabel hooks another hook at the top, and then if she falls, obviously Althea is weighed down by both the hook on top, which is connected to Isabel at the bottom, but she's also hooked into the one above her as well. So I can see a situation where, okay, I guess Althea would be carrying the weight of them both. Well then, I guess we kind of sort of figured that out. There's 2 hook-ins, and obviously it's like...
I need to rewatch that scene now.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it because at that final scene where she's kind of taking out that walker, the rope is really taut, like underneath her where Isabel's dangling. So you'll see that. And Nisa says, "Cliffhanger. You're always only hooked in one." Okay. Yes, I am. I'm hooked into this podcast, you motherfucker. Oh, look at that. Bridget Karina's on. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? And I think we're just about to leave. Just about to finish this one.
Sorry.
But didn't you want to say something about the end of the show? Like around the end of the show? Was it this scene, Rachel?
Did I?
Yeah, somebody said.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Somebody said something about I wanted to say something at the end of the show, and I can't remember if
the end or at the end.
Oh, at the end of the show.
Like the kiss end or like the reunion with Alicia and Morgan end?
Oh, I meant the end of Squawking Dead. I can't say. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Well, it's gonna have to wait then. I think
Can't
with
think
that.
of anything.
Yeah, I think with that, I think we'll just call it a week. And I'll try to get the audio podcast to you guys by Wednesday, and get some clips on you. Yeah, I'm gonna get some clips on you on Thursday and Friday. One of them being our ruined special moment.
Sorry.
Where we're like about to cry, and then not Dave says something funny.
Yeah, that's how I keep myself from crying. Cut a joke.
Yeah. You and me are on the same page. If you didn't do it, somebody would have, and it would have been me. So glad I could shoulder that burden for you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Any last words? Any last thoughts? Remaining thoughts from the audience in the peanut gallery too?
Cricket.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Well, that about does it, folks.
Okay, wait, no, I can wait. Last minute, I do kind of have something.
Yes.
Not so much about this episode, but we only have 3 more episodes. Well, including the mid-season finale, that I consider that the 3rd episode. We only have 3 episodes until the end of the first half.
Yeah.
They got to start
6,
putting
7,
some
8
stuff together.
You know, somebody else said that during the stream. They actually Sharon from Australia, not Nisa from Brazil, said said something about like. She's the one who said the episode was boring. She said they better start kicking it to high gear. I feel like the next episode is going to be something of a people zooming across different parts. Like it's not climbing a cliff face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but because in the next episode you have so many elements of play.
Yeah.
And those are usually the episodes where something happens.
I will be really disappointed if we don't get a big bad for the season.
I think I just blew Dave's mind.
I count on that.
Maybe.
I kind of like that we don't have a big bad, because,
Me too.
but I'm not used to not having a big bad, and it's throwing me off.
Yeah, you can't just stick in a Martha somewhere.
Oh, I never want to see another Martha ever.
No.
That was maybe they're just like, okay, we're not so good at the big bads. Martha was a flop. Let's just try a season without.
Yeah, like.
Well, actually, okay, wait.
I almost can't blame them for doing that.
If
by the
you
way,
think about it, the world and the environment is kind of the big bad with the radioactive.
that's
okay.
a really good way of looking at that.
Because
Yeah.
because this season they're trying to rebuild and help people, so you can only go so far in helping without the world kind of kicking your ass.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that's legitimate too, because like we don't know the status of the nuclear reactor either.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and they teased nuclear from nuclear waste and all that from the get go, so wouldn't be surprised if
I still would like to see us, defeat someone
I agree 100%.
at the end of the season.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Well, I think it's going to be Logan, and I think it's going to be really funny. I hope
you better
it's really
see him.
funny. Because
I'm super sad though, because I really like him.
well, I mean, I don't
Like,
think it has to be
you.
bad. Like, I don't think it has to be murder. Like, here, let me show you another way, Logan. Like, take my hand, and then they'll start singing a song because of the movies, the movie list.
Yeah.
Just break into song. Can you imagine? Could you imagine them jumping the
A
shark
musical
with a
episode.
musical ending?
Oh god.
Like, a la the 40-year-old virgin. Or the 40-year-old virgin, sorry.
Oh my god.
It's the age of Aquarius. Anyway. It's that kind of night.
That would have to be the last episode ever
of everything.
100%.
No movie.
It hasn't been renewed yet, technically. So.
Could you imagine them canceling the movie deal just based on that scene alone? No movie, musical.
Like, guys, the spinoff is really just because Fear's gone, because we're ending with the musical.
I think that's the point at which you can absolutely hate. Well, actually, hold on. You can hate and absolutely kind of admire Scott M. Gimple for making that move as head of content. Like on the one hand, what? And on the other hand, not.
Well played.
Well played, Scott Gimple. Well played. Good job. The king of the trolls, I bow to you. And with that...
I'm really going to end the episode now.
Oh, man. My microphone won't stand up.
Stop abusing it.
And with that...
It's just flopping over.
Keep my comments to myself.
That's what she said. No, I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Just keeps flopping over. Yes, we're going to the Commonwealth. No, I mean, we might not. We'll see. But we'll be seeing you next Sunday night, hopefully, right after the episode. We're going to broadcast live right after Fear the Walking Dead again. We're going to get back on track and do our justice. Now, while I still got you, hopefully, if you're on the YouTubes or the Facebooks, give us a like. Leave comments and stuff. Comment to other people's comments. Let's have a conversation. Second, Stitcher. Stitcher and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review. Do us a favor. Give us some visibility. God bless you.
Bless you.
Whoever that was.
And you and you and you.
Bless you, husband.
Everyone says God bless you. They say God bless you.
And with that, we'll see you next week. Thanks, Felicia. Thanks, everybody on the chats. I'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, they have top viewers. That's cool. That was a cool little message at the end. Oh.
What does that mean? Like people who commented or who have watched several
your top
times?
Instagram viewers.
Wait, are we officially off now?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
They're probably still on YouTube.
Yeah, we're still on YouTube. That's correct. That is correct.
Before I say something.
That's like what I'm waiting for.
This episode was a piece of shit.